away. After this, get your money's worth now.
You just went straight into it.
We'll do it live. We'll do it live.
Presented by Scott Vicknair Injury Law Firm. You haven't heard any kind of accident, car, truck, 18-wheeler, hurt offshore. Scott Vicknair handles it all. Give him a call at 504-500-1111 for a free consultation. Always fight for the win. And is always powered by
I don't have nothing.
4D.
Yeah.
John Deere. Sunshine.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Lito.
Blue Moon. Yeah.
Power about that?
Yeah. Hey,
I don't know.
welcome to the Sunday show, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? We got the guys in the building. It's Ross here. It's Justin here. 5 in the building. Gold chain, Grub. We need that gold chain, Grub. We need you to bring that back. All right. Grub in the building. You know what I'm saying? We here to talk some Pelicans basketball. Chat, what's good? What's good, chat? Holla at us. Like, subscribe, comment. Let's get to it. So listen, first of all, I seen a couple things. I feel like I'm screaming.
You're screaming. I like it, though. This is an energy.
like the
You're a
energy.
Red Sox hat on. You're
like I'm
good.
What are we talking about?
I've seen a couple things floating around on the internet, Ross.
Oh.
I've seen some things floating around on the internet. One of them was, can the Pelicans contend in the West? And since you to my right, I'm gonna start with you. Give me your opinion, because Justin, you said something interesting. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to what you said about the Pelicans and where they're gonna end up this postseason. But Ross, I want to know, do you think the Pelicans can contend in the West?
No, I don't. I think like contend for
Got straight to was like
contend. I'm assuming you mean contend for a Western Conference championship. And
no, you don't even got to go that far.
Yeah, can you explain?
you got to put some parameters.
You got to set the parameters.
All right, the parameters are. I'm gonna start with Justin. Justin, you told me they're a playoff team.
Yes, they're a playoff team. Zion Williamson plays 70 games.
How many?
70. Y'all talked about this. Y'all talked about this a couple podcasts ago, right?
70 games.
He's got to play 70.
You think he's gonna play 70 games?
That's the question, right? Gun to my head, no. But if he does, they're a playoff team.
God damn, you
What?
gun to your head? Like what?
It's the question. I'm just answering the question.
Can I make a bold prediction? I think he does play 70.
You play 70?
Then I think they make playoffs. If he does play 70, then I think
70.
okay. So if we're on that,
Yeah.
if he plays 70 games, they're gonna make the playoffs because we talk about this all the time. What's up, Chaz? We talk about this all the time. It doesn't matter about, I forget whoever said it. It doesn't matter about Trey. It doesn't matter her. If Zion plays 70 games, the team's good.
70 game season from Zion Williamson gets us where?
Top 6. It's all about it. You don't believe that?
Maybe. I'll say maybe. I mean, I don't. I wouldn't say it confidently. It's just look. That's where it's that, and I thought that's where I thought you were going with your question originally. Is like I start thinking about the teams that I know that that I know are better than you today, and so then it's like not only am I making sort of a leap saying Zion's going to play 70 games. I mean he's only done it once. I think he played right at 70. I'm also sort of assuming for us to like unequivocally crack the top 6. I'm also like then I would have to assume bad things are happening to the teams ahead of you. So not that it can't happen. But like you would need, Minnesota, Oklahoma City, Denver, Clippers.
We go get that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So like I would say I would feel more comfortable saying 7 or 8. Maybe 6 probably being as good as it could get, but
now Grub, you're vehemently upset with what Justin said. Talk to me. What you think?
I think, if Zion plays 70 plus, then I think this is a 43 to 44 win team, like in that area. If he plays 70 plus, if he doesn't, they're closer to that, the prediction that they're getting from Vegas around that 31, 32 wins. Because I think the biggest thing, and I've talked about this before, is to be a playoff team, if you want to win 45 plus games in the NBA, you got to be a top 15 offense and a top 15 defense. Pelicans aren't going to have both of those.
Right.
They're more likely going to be, they could get to the middle of the pack, top 15 in offense. I believe that. But defensively, this is going to be a really bad team. I think that, like, the offense is going to have to carry them. 70% of their wins are going to be led by the offense. And so I think that even at their best, I think that they're in that 7 to 10. I mean, like, really, it's longer than that. It's really like 7 to 14 in the West. That is going to be basically the same. And I think that's where the Pelicans are. I don't think they're a contender to get past like the second round. But if you say, yeah, at our best, are we a playoff team? But I think that has to be the goal this year anyway, is to figure out what you got, be a playoff, and then retool next year and go further. But I think at the best, this is a first round playoff team.
Now, hold on, because 5, I want to hear what you got to say. But you said a playoff team, first round, like exit.
Yeah, I really do.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the best. That would be the best as an exit for him.
Grub brings up a good point. Like they still have like a lot of question marks. But if we're talking fully healthy, we're just looking at the roster. Zion, Trey, her Poole. You get Dejounte back maybe in January. DC, Kevon Looney. They're a talented team. Who knows what happens to Jordan Hawkins? I understand there's a lot of downside on Jordan Hawkins right now, but Sadiq Bey, like there's talent there is what I'm trying to get at, Ross. Like, there's talent, but the head coach is the head coach.
But I had sorry to cut you off. But when you go through that exercise and you just list those names, I could give you a better top 7 probably for like 8 teams in the West.
Okay, go. You think the Clippers are better?
Hold on, wait.
You do with their age in an 82-game season.
I think not only are they better, I think they're probably
the
like
Clippers?
8 to 10 games better.
Okay.
But go ahead.
Yeah.
You have a plan.
I do have a plan.
There's no
I'm trying to
injuries.
ruin my plan.
Okay.
First of all, that's what I was about to ask you. You said without it, like what does non-injured Pelicans?
Yeah, we're an injured team.
Yeah,
But you just Ross literally just said that Zion was playing 70. And I think that Zion plays. I think Zion gets at least 65 in this year.
okay.
Because Chris talked about a couple podcasts ago. If he plays 60 games, they're a playoff team, and most of y'all agreed with that.
Yeah.
So what changed?
I didn't agree with it because I don't think he'll do it.
You shook your head.
I just listened.
Oh,
you
were nodding in agreement.
Not at the mentally ill person. 5. What's good, man? Talk to me about. Do the Pelicans have enough top tier talent on their teams to hang with I don't know. I'm gonna just say a Minnesota. I'm just throwing a team out there in the West.
See, you add the caveat of top.
Yeah. Caveats be caveat. We
sure. Like that holds more weight. Like what I put Jordan Poole, Trey Murphy, Zion. All right, let's just take three players. Against Ant, Gobert, and their third.
Randall.
Right, yeah, Julius. I don't know if they'll keep him eventually, but by trade deadline, but that's neither here nor there. You're looking at Denver, you're looking at possibly the Lakers, and I don't know. I don't necessarily put them out of it, but I just can't, definitively say like they're a top tier team because of, their talent. I wouldn't do it. But do I think they have a puncher's chance? Yeah, of course. Yeah.
What type of punching we talking about? We talking box? We talking power punch? We talking jab? Like what?
Yeah, it ain't like no Mike Tyson punch. It's more of like, it's not Canelo. I'm going through guys.
Michael Borer. Michael Borer.
It's more Teofimo Lopez. If anybody follows, it's more
Okay.
Teofimo Lopez.
Okay.
I'm athletic enough. I'm skilled enough, but I don't have the mental capacity to really outthink you. I'm just gifted, and then I got a terrible coach. So there's all kind of things going on. That's a great analogy, by the way.
That was great. Put a pin in that, coach. We coming back to that. Now, Ross, you talk to me about the teams that's in front of the Pelicans. Like, go ahead, give me a breakdown there.
Mm-hmm.
So you got probably what? Let's see. Oklahoma City, obviously, as one. The Rockets, clearly. I think the Nuggets, as long as Jokic is alive and breathing. I mean, for me, those three, and that's a clear, they would need multiple key injuries, and you would have to be totally healthy, right? That's three. I think the Timberwolves are still better than you, a lot better than you. I think I actually really like what the Clippers have done this offseason, ignoring like age or not. So that's 5 right there. And then I think you're in that class of like I still think same thing. Like if Curry's there, the Warriors I think are probably still a 45 to 48 win team.
Are they better than the Pelicans then?
Yeah, I think fully healthy. I do. I think they're better than you.
Did you?
But they're probably like assuming full health. I don't know. A full year of Jimmy Butler, like, yeah, no, they're better.
Did you say Houston?
Yeah, Houston.
You said Houston?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I'm saying. So like, you're in the class below them. Like, and I think like clearly in a class below them too.
You said if I'm not mistaken, 6 teams.
And I didn't even say the Lakers, who are probably better than you.
So 7 teams.
Why are the Lakers better?
They're just been better than you pretty much every year. Like,
Why is a team with LeBron and Luka better?
I mean, they just because his history has shown me that they're better.
That's fair.
What you so him saying 7 teams are better than the Pelicans right now. What do you say?
And I think that's 7, like no doubt.
I mean, yeah, that's the teams you mentioned are like that's fair.
But just going back to Grubb's point, because I think the 8 seed last year was a 48 win team, right, Grubb?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the year before that might have been 49 or 47, but it's the last, let's just call the last few years. You've been in that 47 to 49 win like range for the 8 seed. Like, can they get there? Right. I mean, this organization celebrated 49 wins as an 8 seed. No more than 2 years ago. So like, where are we? Where are you? Is this group as good or better than that group? Because you're going to have to, I think, be better than that group to jump into whatever like Justin thinks is feasible here.
I guess that's what I was trying to get. Go ahead.
I was just say they're on the same level. Like when you talk about those other teams, like, yeah, they're on the same level with Portland. They're on the same level with Memphis. They're on the same level with San Antonio. They're that mid from 7 to 14. The only team that you think is out of it on day one is Utah. 7 to 14, everybody is hoping, are we healthy? Do we gel? Is our coach any good? If you get one of those things, those teams are all the same. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's an insult to say the Pelicans are in that group because you just don't have a history to lean on. If you take the past and you're being fair and kind to them, then to put them in that 7-14, if they do their, I mean, we saw 49 got them 8. 49 got them 8. And I don't see this. And that was a top 5 defensive team relative to the league. Maybe not, relative to the best teams playing against the best teams, but that was a top 5 defense and a top 10 offense that year. Am I correct? In the 49 season, they were top 10 in both. I know that for sure. So if you talk about that, that's not going to be this team this year. They could be a really good offense, but I just don't see this team defensively being able to hold the line like the 49 win team did.
Can I ask a question?
What's up?
I think the better question, if we're going to assume full health, is does the roster around Zion put him in a position to be better than he was the last time he played 70 games and you won 49 games, right? And I think the second half of that year when he was playing sort of lights out before the Laker injury, he averaged something like, I don't know, after the All-Star break, somebody can fact check it, but like 25, 6 and 6 on crazy efficiency. Like, if he's going to play 70 games, can he improve? Will this roster, because the coach is the same, does the roster around him, if it's fully healthy, allow him to improve? Because I think for the team to improve, he has to like find an incremental addition to his game that ultimately either makes him better defensively or offensively or more efficient, or he adds something to where he goes from that really, really good player, probably an all-star, to like that next tier of, on any given night, clearly by far the best player on the court and can sort of single-handedly win you 35 or 40 games. I think that's a bigger question for me.
Is the second best player on the team better than the second best player on the team now?
Second, third, and fourth. I think like you've got to look at. I'm looking at like the roster of people that are going to play a lot of minutes, right? Like going back 2 years, you had what you had, or the 4 or 5 or 6 people that are going to be part of the core more conducive to Zion improving or less conducive, or is it just the exact same? Because if it's the exact same, I think you're going to get basically the same results.
I mean, if anybody want to answer that, that's cool.
Chaz, what do you think? You've been
Yeah,
sort of
what's up,
critical of
Chaz?
the roster over the years.
Chaz, welcome to the show, man.
Chaz, you might be
muted.
Shit, I ain't thinking mad at it, honestly. I was about to catch y'all on the next one. But what's going on? Yeah, honestly, I have a bit of confidence in this team moving forward. I'm putting the kind of leaving the past where it is. Then you got new leadership, which will have, which is rumored to have more accountability. I think that will go a long way. You're looking at the upside of guys like Jordan Poole, who you see kind of return to form a little bit last year to some of his Warriors glory. You're looking at the trajectory Trey was on. You got, I don't think Fears is going to play much, but you got the addition of Kevon Looney. And you're just looking at some of the potential upside from some of the younger guys on this roster. And to me, I think the West has more parity than we might realize, considering some of the major injuries teams are dealing with. Kyrie's out with a torn ACL. Anthony Davis just had some type of eye surgery, and it's just Anthony Davis. You got Jaren Jackson Jr. with his getting his Chandler Parsons on. You know what I'm saying? He hurt immediately, and he's going to potentially miss the start of the season. I'm not a person who really believes in Wemby too much. Don't really know what the Spurs did to improve, really. Like, is it going to be Dylan Harper? I don't necessarily think so. They added Cornette, but it's like, if I'm going to give credit to the additional Cornette and Kelly Olynyk, then I got to give the same credit to Kevon Looney, if not more credit to Kevon Looney. So, or even then, it's like, even defensively, it's like, all right, well, you could have traded Herb, you didn't. You extended him, and you signed Kevon Looney. So, if you're still worried about defense, then why'd you do those two moves?
So let me ask you this, based on what you just said. I mean to cut you off. You finished? I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah. I'm go ahead.
So based on what you just said, where do you agree with Justin as far as the first round, and I guess the rest of the panel with the first round exit?
I think it's very matchup dependent. Because one thing I'll say, just like we could say, well, last year, or the year before, 49 wins got them to the 8th seed eventually, because they lost in that first game of the play.
Mm-hmm.
You could say 36 wins got them to the 10th seed. Like, we could play these math games because every year the league is different. Like, every single year the league is different. Every year now at this stage in his career, Kevin Durant has suffered some midterm injury during the season. It just kind of continues to happen. I think OKC has been fortunate with tremendous health. Wemby hasn't finished the season yet. Seems like every year De'Aaron Fox is getting shut down at some point during the season. I think
he just got hurt too.
I think it
was that's like the rumor, right? I think some kid had a photo of him in the mall saying he was fine. Like, I don't know. So there's so many things out, everybody lying this time of year, right? But I just think, even Devin Booker's hurt every year some kind of way, and that's not exactly an impressive team they got in Phoenix. I think you are, even if you want to say the Pelicans are more toward the bottom tier, then you're looking at more of like a 4-team race between maybe the Warriors, who are older, and Kuminga, he laying his pan down. You know what I'm saying? They making it difficult for them to explore avenues to improve that team. Curry's not getting any younger. You just saw him get hurt in the playoffs for probably the second time ever. Jimmy Butler, Jimmy show up when he wants to. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy show up when it's winning time. He don't really be playing during the season. He's a guy in the Eastern Conference. Then you got the Spurs, of course. You got Portland, who have, whatever's going on with them, who's probably going to be starting Scoot Henderson this year, maybe. With the addition of Drew Holiday, who wasn't exactly setting the world on fire. And so I think you got teams with similar issues as the Pelicans. The Zion threat, and I think the Trey Murphy threat, them being like upper echelon talents, kind of give you, like Bob say, more so a puncher's chance. But I think there's going to be more parity in the league this year than suspected, especially if all things are equal.
Grub, let me appreciate you, Chaz. Grub, let me ask you this. We talked a lot. Justin said you talked about Dejounte in a roundabout way. you're expecting him to be back this December, January-ish?
That's when he's supposed to be back. I would imagine a year from the injury, but like I just don't see how they can ever bring him back. Because if you're winning when he comes back, I'm not messing up the flow. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're doing what you're supposed to do, waiting for him to get his game together could cost you wins, right? And if you're losing when he comes back, like if you're out of the playoff race, what does playing him do for you then? Like to me, it's just like counting on Dejounte to give you anything meaningful this year. It just doesn't make sense. Like if you're saying you can rehab him for the next season, if that's their goal, then I think that's probably more legitimate. But I don't see a way to put him back on this roster and think that it's gonna just because he's a dude that's used to playing 36 minutes. And he's not there. There aren't going to be 36 minutes when he gets back. Where are those minutes going to come from? And so I don't think that you can just easily get him. And he's a dude that is very emotional. And as this thing goes on, when was the last time he had to sit out and miss like when he was with San Antonio? And when he was gone for a long time, the San Antonio was like, it took him a while to get back into that. They had to change the team up. So it's like I don't think that the chemistry is so deep with him that he could come back with guys that basically you turned over this roster with that he didn't really play with last year. He only played 20-something games. So I just don't see how he's not even really an X factor to me. Like the X factors are already, on the roster. They're the younger guys. You counting on them to do something and step up this year. But to me, Dejounte, he's not even a luxury item. He's not an X factor. I just think of him as a problem that they need to solve. Sound
Ross, if you talking, you muted, bro.
Okay, go ahead. Ross.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was saying if let's just say the calendar turns to January and you're 500 or a game under or something like, you're not playing terrible, but you need to go on a little run. I mean, there's got to be some merit to reintegrating Dejounte for like a second half run at that point, right? Because not playing him does no one any good. And you want to he's still on the roster. You're gonna have to probably, even if you want to move him, you're gonna have to prove that like he's healthy.
Camera went out.
So
yeah, guys, y'all camera went out.
Yeah, Justin fixing it. But I think the thing for me with that is, and I was gonna actually pass this question to Justin, but I'm gonna answer it until he gets back on camera. I think even if he does play, right, there's nothing you can expect from him. There's nothing you can expect from him. He's not gonna look like himself until next year. So I just feel like when I see people include Dejounte Murray on the not even a starting part of the roster, but just penciling in minutes for him, I'm just kind of like, why? What do you expect him to bring to the team? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if Chaz 5, if y'all want to, anybody want to.
Before they go, I'm gonna just throw this in real quick. The relationship with Willie is part of this too, because Willie does not play people he doesn't trust. And if you come back at that point in the season, can you earn Willie's trust again? Because there's clearly something between them. You know what I'm saying? There's clearly something between Dejounte and Willie.
Yeah, hope it's not the same thing that was between Brandon Griffin and Willie, but that's a lot of something going on. But that that being the case, I think it's over for Dejounte, man. I just don't see Dejounte returning from his hand injury. Really wasn't nothing to write home about. Now, personally, I know that wasn't the best Dejounte because I've seen a much better Dejounte even in Atlanta, but I don't want to underestimate the impact of this injury. And I'm sure his agency, man, shout out to Jordan Poole, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to JP3. We in the building, man. Shout out to him. Make him say, But yeah, I don't know how that relates. But that being said, yeah, I just don't see I just don't see a pathway for him playing reasonable minutes, because even him coming back, he's going to be on the minutes restriction. And you have to ask yourself, if you're Willie Green, who I have the utmost confidence in, if you're Willie Green, you have to ask yourself, is the steak worth the sizzle in this regard? Like, is he a good enough player to warrant me potentially interrupting team chemistry and player roles? Because let's just say Jose is still on the team, who I also have the utmost confidence in. Let's say if he was getting significant minutes and he's shooting 36%, like he got a roll. He coming out there playing 5-7 minutes, 5-7 minute stretches. He got a roll. And I say, you know what? Dejounte is back. He's at 5-on-5 now, and he's ready. He's ready to play. Do I interrupt what I'm doing with Jose's role and to play Dejounte? And it's like kind of, not that it's a major drop off, but it's like, to what end? Because to me, Dejounte having multiple years left on that deal, at best, you going from this season, if he plays this season, at best, you're going from a lottery protected first to maybe a top 20 protected first that you got to give up to move him. And in the offseason, maybe you're going to maybe go from top 20 protected to potentially a lottery protected. In the offseason, maybe you go into multiple seconds. But with that many years left on this contract, I don't think it's impossible for him to become a positive asset this season. So I really don't see the point in playing him at all.
And to Chaz's point, I was going to ask this, like, just say they're gelling, whatever. Like, you can't just implement Dejounte in the starting lineup.
You can't.
Yeah, that to me is exactly why I disagree with y'all, because we're talking about, like, where do you find minutes? Just go look at any minute distribution. Really for any team. I got it right here. Who would have thought? I got it right here. Like, I mean, Javonte Green played 50 games last year for this team, played 20 minutes a game. Jamal Cain played in 37 games and had played 15 minutes a night. Like, you mean to tell me there's not minutes? It took me 2 seasons to find a whole.
See, that's not fair, though. That's presupposing a whole bunch of injuries.
Well, no, but I'm not disagreeing with you. But even the year before, when we didn't have very many injuries, Jordan Hawkins played 18 minutes a night. Wasn't very good. Like, there's always going to be some, like, we going into this assuming perfect health is crazy. I mean, we're talking about getting into February and saying that Dejounte is, I don't know, 80%, 70% healthy, and that there's not going to be any minutes for him. Like, to me, that just seems like
Ross. Well, I think what we're saying is, like, if you play him 12 minutes, then what's the point? Like, Dejounte for 12 minutes to get some cardio in. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't think there's a scenario where you only play him 12 minutes. So I just don't think it's hard to find 20 minutes.
Let's do the minutes. Let's do the minutes real quick.
Okay.
Let's just do the minutes real quick. Then. You take the guard spots. You got 96 minutes between two guard spots, right? So let's give 30 to Jordan Poole right off the top. We're giving him 30 at the minimum, right? Would y'all agree with that? Or more? We need to raise that up?
Yeah,
34.
Yeah,
let's make it 34.
Yeah, up that.
All right, 34. So you got 62 minutes left.
Okay,
Jose
we're saying Poole is going to play his most minutes of his career by like 5 or 6 minutes a night. I'm just saying that's what we're assuming.
32. Let's make it 32.
Okay.
32. So you got 64 left, right?
Okay.
20 to Jose, because that's what he's got his first career. Is about 20 minutes. So that's 52 right there. So we got 44 left.
And I'm just pushing back just because, like, what's the most games Jose's ever played in his career?
50 something.
Right. So, like, all right, so I'm with you. If you're just looking at opening day, we can do this exercise. But we know Jose's not going to play 82. He's just not. Like, he's never
like, even if it's sometime minutes, he's not getting regular minutes. And I think, like, for a guy who's over 30, it's hard to count on a consistent contribution if you can't give him steady minutes every night. And he's not going to be the starter. Like, that's the part of it, is he's not going to be the starter. And by then he's not the sixth man either, right? And, like, that's the hard part, is that they won't be consistent minutes. There will be minutes, but they won't be consistent. And if they're not consistent for Dejounte, and I think that's different, not consistent for Jose, or not consistent for Jordan Hawkins, or not consistent for somebody else, for Carlo Makovich, is very different than, let's say, Dejounte playing 20 minutes one night and 4 the next. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't do that with Dejounte Murray because I don't think he's going to react the same way as Carlo would to say, Carlo, you're missing the next 2 games just because the matchups didn't work for us.
Yes.
Like, you start putting Dejounte some DNP CDs, I think the problem gets worse, not better.
I mean, he already went on a pivot and aired you out. Like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, it definitely could exponentially get worse. But you know what I'm saying? Shout out to DeJounte, man. Keep trying. I hope you
man.
Get full health.
Yeah. We can move.
I
just what you got? What was up?
No, we can move on.
I totally understand Ross's point.
Yeah, go ahead.
And not to overestimate the talent available on this team, but I would say the positional talent available kind of has changed. Whereas for even Jordan Hawkins' plan, you really didn't have to play Jordan Hawkins because you had Matt Ryan. It was just investment decision being made as far as we need more shooting. We drafted this guy at 14. He's a champion. He's friends with Swing Cash. He's the best movement shooter. He's making about $3-4 million. Matt Ryan, we paying him and company burger hash browns. So it's like we could
pretty good.
It's an easy call, and I think Matt Ryan's a better player, but it's an easy call. But whereas now you're looking at, all right, I got a guy just drafted at 6. I could play over Dejounte if I needed to. I don't really need a ball handler in the second unit. Dejounte doesn't necessarily stretch the floor. To me, it's not to me, I would liken it more to it's closer to when Victor Oladipo was injured, trying to come back to Indiana versus Joel Embiid being injured, trying to come back to the 76ers. Because it's like with Dejounte, to me, if Dejounte plays, even if he was healthy going into the season, I think the impact is minimal. Not because I think he's not an impactful player, just because I don't feel like what he does is as much of a need as it was last year at that position. But truthfully, if you told me, I'm trying to think of a better. If I knew that Yves Messi was out to start the year, knock on wood, I would be more concerned about the backup 5 in that position and him being out more than Dejounte, just because of I view that center as that position as having less depth. Now, we lost Brandon Boston Jr., we lost Antonio Reeves foolishly, but even then, those guys who got some run last year, Brandon's more on ball, but Antonio Reeves is more of an off ball guy. Whereas with on ball players, I would say you probably have a gluttony of on ball players, like guys who need the ball to succeed. In Jordan Poole, shirts available. Y'all check out the link is in the chat. And you got, of course, you want to see what Trey Murphy can do with the ball in his hands, being probably number 1, a little bit more in the second unit. You just extended Herb making the big bucks now. I think you got to give him more opportunities, whether he can do it or not. You got to give him more opportunities to have the ball in his hands in the second unit, create a little bit, maybe as a connector. I just don't see where Dejounte, I just don't see where he fits on the roster anymore, honestly. I agree. That interview, we didn't speak on this particular part. I'll close with this. With Joe Dumars' interview, he said we didn't have a lead guard. That's one part we kind of skipped over, and now we got one in Jeremiah Fizz. Meanwhile, Dejounte right there. So, fuck you saying about me? How I'm supposed to feel? I think he knows his days are numbered.
Lito, can I address this question real quick? So, Co, you said why is Justin off camera? Lala's in the air right now, and I don't know how to get 6 or 5 different cameras in the same setting, so that's the reason why. So Chaz is way better than I am, so that's the reason why Chaz is on stage. I'm off stage, so but I'm in the background. Go ahead.
5. Let me ask you this: do the Pelicans have an identity on either side of the basketball?
No. That's like waking up and thinking Willie Green knows who he is. No, he doesn't know. It all starts with him. They can't figure that out until he figures that out. So
all right. So wait, let me ask you this though. Would you agree that Herb Jones is the identity of the team though?
No, I don't think that's fair.
No? Okay.
Nah,
okay.
Where'd that come from?
Yeah.
Huh?
Who said that? Where that came from?
The internet be internet, man.
Herb is the spirit animal of the team.
Okay.
Like he's who they aspire to be as a person.
Yeah.
But
not the identity.
Yeah, I wouldn't put that hex on Herb like that. Like that's not. Like no, I think he's a way better basketball player than what they put on the floor on a consistent basis. No, if they had a whole bunch of Herbs, yeah, of course, be different. But they don't. They don't.
I remember Marco Gallinelli was who the team aspired to be. Shout out to Monty Williams, man.
Shout out to Mon, man. We got 30. We've been here for 35 minutes, man. It's 167 people in here. I need to know the like count at. Oh God.
Smash like button.
No matter what.
Monty said I was the high paid coach.
You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that.
Okay, I want to ask you this question later. Why'd you bring up that question about the Herb Jones thing?
Because you saw. I don't want to say it was a steep drop off, obviously defensively when Herb wasn't there.
Yep.
Right. So you're looking at the not only the defense on the court, but like the lack of communication, just not guys being in the right spot, which is kind of what I was just not necessarily putting the entire thing on Herb, but just kind of alluding to. It seems when Herb is on the floor, there's a stark contrast from basically like the leadership on floor versus when he isn't.
Would you say Herb's the actual vocal leader of the team?
See, that's the thing. The vocal part, I don't know.
Who is the vocal part? Who is the vocal leader? Let me ask this then. Who's the vocal leader of the team?
I don't know that you necessarily need one.
Jose.
I think you, from a player perspective, Chaz, like I think you need somebody that you go to when shit hits the fan, or when something's happening, right?
Well, okay. I'll say this, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to, look, because I consider this show to be like a tastemaker show. So as one of the tastemakers and curators of thought, I don't want to put no negative vibes out there. But if shit hitting the fan, and I need Jose to rally the troops, this is over. If shit hit the fan, I'm like, Herb, what do we do? It's
your best player should be your vocal leader.
I don't think that's it, Chaz.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying for as vocal leader, I think, and this is where I care more about the talent versus the effort, because as we've seen in the past, when stuff is going good, when Zion is healthy, which is rare. So when stuff is going good, when Zion is healthy, when Trey is healthy, everybody just grabs on the Superman's cape. I don't think nobody need a good talking to. I think everybody just grab on the Superman's cape, right, and they just fly. I don't know. I just never seen this team. I could probably, there's absolutely been instances where Jose against Denver hits like 10 threes or something like that and rallies the troops. Herb Jones against Memphis at the end of the season goes off for like 30 something points, goes into overtime, rallies the troops. That's absolutely happened. But like I look at it, even with Jeremiah Fears, a rookie, I look at how he was talking in Summer League. I look at Kevon Looney, what people say about Jordan Poole. I just think it's time for the talent to be the talent and the other guys to be the other guys. No disrespect to Jose, but Jose ain't got no jewelry. Jose ain't Udonis Haslem. You know what I'm saying? Jose ain't Draymond Green. He ain't Jimmy Butler. He ain't, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, you literally just explained that though. But Chaz just explained what the problem is. Like the problem is that there's no vocal leader. Like I don't expect, like we shouldn't expect Jose Alvarado.
We expect too much from role.
Exactly. We expect way too much from role players.
The talent gotta show up.
And that leads to Zion Williamson.
Talent has to show up as a leader too.
It's gotta be Zion. Zion's gotta be your vocal leader.
Yeah, because if you say you're not gonna tell me Shea is not the leader of the Thunder, you're not gonna tell me Ann is not the leader of the Timberwolves, you're not gonna tell me Ja's not the leader of the Grizzlies, because it knows the player has taken the ownership. And I think what we saw this offseason was the direct, challenge by Joe Dumars to Zion Williamson that he's got to be that guy. I'm only saying it's Jose because that's, if you look at who's been available on his roster, I'm not saying Jose is the leader, but when it comes to somebody engaging other players and saying, we got to do this, he's the only one on the bench that you ever see doing that.
But it
Like you
can't be
never saw
Jose. But
Brandon
it can't.
get
But
to
it can't
somebody.
be Jose. You're not
Right,
wrong.
and
It can't be Jose.
be Jose. But if you're asking me who it was
Sure.
up till now, that's who it is. Like if you're asking me demonstrably who it was, and I think maybe Trey can assume some of that, but you got to empower Trey. And I think Trey is getting to that place because I've said this before. I think Trey is the most natural franchise player up until Fears now. Trey was the most natural franchise player from his demeanor and all those things from any guy on the roster, but he has to be empowered to do so. Of course, you hope Zion takes it over. And that's if he does this year, that's a major step forward for him. But I think you have guys. Fears is definitely one of those guys who could become that. I absolutely agree with Chaz on that. Fears has all the stuff to be that kind of player, but he can't walk in the locker room like that in year one. Not when he's not going to play enough minutes to be on the court to tell people that kind of stuff.
The thing with the Joe Dumars Zion thing for me is like you can't will somebody into being a leader.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't. My hope for you is that you become like, bro, you born to be a leader or you're not. And I think if you're putting those kind of, I want to say if you're putting that kind of designation to a guy who hasn't done it in 7 years, you think it can happen in August or October, whatever?
Well, I just think we're conflating two like different things because like, would you say that Shea is that type of leader? My opinion is that I wouldn't, but I'm curious.
Would I say that he's a leader though?
But that's what I mean. Is like because I feel like we're taking two separate. Like you can be a leader without being Mr. Rah Rah, jumping around.
So
we can't.
All right. So let me clear this up. The vocal part don't really matter to me. I would rather you do as I do than do as I say, because I'm gonna show you the way that it needs to be done, right?
Yeah.
And if you asking me about Shea, I think Shea does that. I don't necessarily know if one does either of those things.
Yeah. That's probably a better question because I think you become the leader by like, you know how I know Shea's a leader? Because if it's a close game, they give Shea the ball and everybody else gets the fuck out the way. Like that's how I know that he's the leader, and that's how I know that everybody else on that court knows that he's the one. He's the guy. He ain't gonna go rah rah and then make a big scene in the media or say some outlandish stuff or any of that. But you go watch the last 2 minutes of a close game and you tell me who the leader of OKC is. I think Zion in some ways, like he hasn't done that yet, but I think there's also been like impediments to him possibly doing that, and we've been critical of him not taking that step. There's no reason for him not to take that step this year. Like there's no reason for you not to be that. And if you can't be that this year with this group, then you're just not it. Like then I'm willing to unequivocally make that statement that you are built for that. But I think he can. I think he will and can.
So I just want
okay.
Yeah. I was just going to point out the Ross brought up OKC and Shea, but they already have a system in which there's a hierarchy, right? And there's the coach sets a baseline of this is how we're going to play and this is what we're going to do. Shea doesn't have to be rah-rah. He doesn't have to do that. That's not his demeanor anyway. He just gets to be himself within that. And I think that's what's missing here. Zion isn't super rah-rah. It's not him. Once he gets in the game, but he's not demanding guys to do X, Y, and Z on the court. That's just not him. That's up to the coach essentially to be that too. But if you're looking for the best player on the best team to just lead a team, is that Zion? Is that in his nature? He can win you games, yes, but is he cultivating? Is he garnering attention for his teammates and putting them in places for them to be successful? No, that's just not who he can.
I think he can. I don't think he's ever going to be the talkative type, but I think if he shows up every day, like I said, if he's not late to planes, he doesn't miss practices, he's doing his, rehab, he's always showing up on time for those things. He's not the last dude in the building and not the first one out the building. I think, if you, like I said, we talked about this, that the organization has never made him take responsibility for his own actions, good or bad. He's never had to do that. So, I mean, it is sink or swim for him. And I think we've all said it. This is the last year for Zion to get the opportunity to even prove that he's never going to be the guy who's grabbing people by the jersey. You're absolutely right. He is never going to do that. But if he's if he's dedicated to being the leader, then he will evolve in the ways that he needs to evolve. That doesn't necessarily mean vocally. It means his game will evolve and all those things that you're talking about will happen. But if they don't, you're right. It's time to go. He got to go.
So wait, little. My only pushback, and I'll pass it to Chaz. That's like when I've had this conversation.
Oh, thank you, Brandon Franklin.
Oh, shout out to
Appreciate you, Brandon. Thank you, bro.
Thank you, Brandon.
You good. I've had this conversation with my girl a couple of times. Like, yo, you don't just start cooking when you get a brand new house. If you're not doing that shit already, it ain't even gonna happen. Like once you get it, it ain't just gonna happen. If you ain't doing it now while we in this apartment, you ain't just gonna get a house with brand new pots and pans and be able to. He ain't doing it now.
Have you ever had an employee who you saw something in and they weren't in the right spot, and then you took that employee, you talked to him, and I mean, as a supervisor, I've done that occasionally. You know, you have people you say, "Look, you be better at this. This is where I need you," and they become a star doing that because you have given them their purpose. I think both possibilities are absolutely true. Zion could be a leopard that cannot change his spots, or he could be a dude that can evolve. And this is the only time, this is the last time he gets any chance to prove it.
And Jared, and I look, I agree with a lot of what you're saying, Jared, other than the fact that I've seen him do it. And I always go back to that second half of 2 years ago when Brandon was out, and because we've talked about this a million times, there was about a 10 to 15 game stretch before he got hurt in that Laker game, and Brandon came back in that Laker game or whatever it was. There was about a call it a month and a half stretch where he became the person that we're all saying that he can't become. He was that. He was assertive. He was clearly the best player every night. He was leading the team to win after win. Like he was, I think, what we're all saying. And so that's my only pushback is that I've sat there and watched it happen. And again, you had Brandon out, you had a team that was winning games. Like, so it was a situation where I think he could comfortably like fall into that role, but I've seen him do it. I know he has some of those abilities. And maybe this is the group where, with Dejounte being out at the beginning of the year, new leadership, hopefully empowering him to do some of those things. Maybe if it's ever going to happen, it's going to be in this first half. And if it doesn't happen in the first half, you know what you got.
I think, I'm sorry, Leo. I think to Ross's point, it's like I said earlier, just grab Superman's cape. And I don't think Zion is like, yo, X, Y, and Z, X, Y, Z. Because I think the most qualified guys to do that would be a Kevon Looney, right? You got Jewelry. Like if CJ, prior to CJ's departure from this team, CJ was probably the most qualified at that time, experienced guy, big playoff games, just an achieved professional guy. Right now, you would say that's more Kevon Looney. Maybe second in command would probably be a Jordan Poole. But at the end of the day, it's all about the talent, in my opinion, because his team still has too much continuity. Once you've seen so much from certain guys, it's hard to receive certain messages. Like, from certain people, and from certain people, you just don't want to hear that from, to be honest. Like, that's just not what we here for. Or like for certain people, that's just not a message that's going to resonate. Like, I don't think, even though I have the utmost faith in Willie Green, shout out to my Cash App, I just don't think his message of empowerment will resonate with Trey at this stage. I think Trey's like, man, I had to become who I became without you at this stage. You know what I'm saying? I kind of am who I am, and that's what it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? Even with Zion, it's like when I'm healthy, nobody can fuck with me. Like when I'm healthy, nobody can guard me. Like I love this competitive shit, all these clicheisms and things like all these Zionisms, etc. And we saw it in the Lakers game. We saw it at the end of the season. We see it every season. We saw it the season with the first hamstring injury. We saw it against Indiana last year when he first came back. Then with Cleveland, he left the game, came back in the second half. When he plays, he's the unquestioned dominant force, leader player on the court. And I think it's all about a question of availability. I think everybody else is going to naturally fall in line. Now, when you talk about people who's going to like maybe, because I believe the context was when you hit a roadblock and people that can help you get through the roadblock. I think that's where Kevon Looney, his expertise, his proximity to greatness and Steph and Clay and Draymond, because at this point he done seen it all. Even Jordan Poole, he kind of just seen it all. At this point, these dudes, they weren't just some Joe Schmo motherfuckers. They were factors on championship teams. And you got Aaron Miles in the building, who I'm sure is going to be advocating for those guys' voices. So I think it's more about, again, just health. If everyone's healthy, I think things kind of land where they need to land as far as the pecking order of voices and who guys are receptive to in that frame.
I agree. I agree with 5. Before we move on, I just want to say, like, I totally disagree with the Zion point for me, because, and I get what you're saying about what he did in the games, but for me, like, if you're a leader, like, you gotta walk the leader walk. You gotta. I'm not saying be a rah guy, but I'm saying you gotta walk that path. You gotta do it every time. You gotta show up every summer. You gotta like take accountability and put it on your shoulders and say, like, this is my team, this is who I am. Like, y'all watch me, I can do this, and I'll show y'all the way. It's knowing I can count on you even when I can't see you. It's knowing I don't have to think about, damn, I wonder if Grubb at home putting the work in, if he doing his journalistic, duties, when it's time for the post game. I know Grubb doing that. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to worry about what he look like, what he gonna look like in October, because I ain't seen him since May. To me, that's a leader. So it's hard for me to put that type of mantle on him when he ain't doing it.
Also, I just want to set a low barometer, right? Like, why are we wishing this upon him when we truly haven't seen it for an extended period of time? Let him, if he wants to be a leader, let him just do it. Let him just do it. I don't want to give somebody a title that they don't want to have.
No, I agree with 5. I just think the criterion has changed for me as it pertains to that, because I'm just like, man, if you was just the most professional motherfucker, period, I don't care if you're not on the court, because and that's where I'm kind of, and it might be unfair because I don't want to be dismissive of the guys who are putting the work in and the guys who are like vocal, like shout Garrett Temple. Garrett Temple, keep a job. Keep a check. Nobody care what he got to say. You know what I'm saying? And it's not in a fucked up way, but it's just like, all right, man, or Ant.
I was just about to say that. Like, Ant is the perfect example, Chaz. Well, I'm not on camera, but like, I wanted to bring this. No. I was gonna say we have removed Lito because Chaz, you bring up a really good point with Ant. I don't think Ant's the most professional at all. He just shows up every night. And that's my thing. What Chaz is saying is, like, just show up. Just be who you are. Like, I don't need to be this rah-rah guy. I don't need to be rally the truth. Go ahead.
Do you think Ant shows up for practice every day? Do you think Ant misses flights?
No, he doesn't. He does
That's
not.
what I'm saying. Like, that's the part. Like, that's professional. Like, you may not be the dude who gives the perfect quote. You may not wear, but I think he's, like, you ain't never heard nothing about.
I don't give a shit. And grow up, like, I don't give a fuck what you do off the court. I really don't. I as a basketball fan, like, do you show up and do your job every day? And this is why, like, I brought up this point the other day. Like, I've seen a bunch of players bring out off-season workout videos, and whether you think it's a big deal or you think it's not a big deal, I don't really necessarily care. But if you're telling me you're being different, and Joe Dumars is saying you're being different, and these articles are coming out that Zion's being different, I saw Chet Holmgren today. I saw Jalen Brunson with a workout video. I see Trey Murphy. I see Jordan Poole. I see Dejounte Murray. You can't put out a fucking workout video?
Say, bro.
Who are you working with? What are you doing? I want to know. I'm not saying this makes a difference or not. And like, I feel real strong about this now. Okay. I don't give a shit. It's not going to lead to different wins. Or what are you doing to get better? That is all I'm trying to say. All these dudes put out workout videos. Every single one. Every single star puts out a workout video. Why don't you put out a workout video? That's all I'm trying to say.
Honestly, and I thought this might come up. So I was watching. Shout out to Sadiq Bey, man. Shout out to Sadiq Bey, DMV guy. So I was watching Sadiq Bey's open run, right? And not because of Sadiq Bey, it was some of the worst basketball I'd ever seen.
But he's out there playing 505.
My point is this, right? it's like to me, it's like Mitchell Robinson hitting threes in the offseason. I really don't give a fuck. Show up. Like the last time I saw you, you was in shape. Cool. Show up, be healthy, play. Because to shout out to Will Guillory. Will Guillory did an article in Athletic, I want to say last offseason, right? Zion putting in the work. It's documented. He putting in the work. Motherfucker barely played. He showed up 1 year, right? The year with CJ, I don't know, he was real handsy, he real handsy, touching motherfuckers, keep your paws to yourself, CJ. And he was that's the year Zion was like, slim and cut up, right? Motherfucker played 20-something games. I don't care.
But Chaz, you never had this talk. Chaz, you never had this talk. Do you ever see Zion play 5-on-5, not with kids, but do you see him play with fucking professionals?
But see, here's the thing.
That's the only time I've seen 5-on-5.
Now look,
Chaz, exactly what I'm talking about, the picture.
Right.
He's playing with kids in
Stop saying that.
Yeah, he's playing basketball.
He's not on camera, so it's not,
Yeah. See, now look, while I agree. And again, to Justin's point, it's 100% true at the time I made that point, and I think it's still true now. But I'm at the stage where I gotta accept people for who they are. Where it's like, honestly, I ain't never really seen Kawhi playing in the offseason either. Now, do I know Kawhi put in work? Yeah. Only time I want to see you play basketball, only time I care about you playing basketball is during the fucking season. Save all your bullets. It's like shooting zombies in the stomach. No, shoot them in the head. Save all your bullets for when the games matter. Show up to camp in shape, get on the court, stay on the court, play some motherfucking basketball.
Chaz, but for a guy, I'm gonna cut you off. But for a guy that says like he's changed and everything, he's gonna be why hasn't he done this? Because when everyone else does do it, like what I'm trying to do, like all the big star, like it's not a workout. It's Jalen Brunson did a day in the life.
I think it's a PR thing though.
You want to see the day in his life?
But bro, you don't think? Let me ask Lito. Let me ask you this: If Zion posted a video of him working out, if Zion posted a workout video of him working out, whatever. Yeah. Would you comment? Would you retweet? Would you get excited about it? I don't give a fuck. Would you be?
I would watch the video. I would watch the workout video.
Would you get a little more hope out of that?
Depends on what he's working on when he's working on.
Okay. Say he's working on right hand layups.
I'd be moved.
Yeah. Okay. It's all about being as a fan. As a fan, it's all about being hopeful. Like that's all I'm trying to say.
When Chris told us that somebody saw Zion doing wind sprints at one summer.
It's the heat. It's the heat. No, working out of this heat.
I'm gonna pass it to you on this point. That summer, right? That same summer. Shout out to Chris. Shout out to Ross for remembering that. That was the year that Zion posted. He was doing like the band work and it looked like a fucking medical kitchen or something, and he got destroyed. I think Zion is very conscientious, and his people are very conscientious of his public perception. I kind of think he's a person who know that kind of can't do too much right, honestly. So I really don't think it matters. And if he don't show up to play, nothing will change. Ben Simmons can hit all the threes in the offseason he won't. If he don't show up,
Ben Simmons being talked about still. Ben Simmons still being talked about.
My bad, Bob. Go ahead.
No, that's exactly what I was going to talk about, Chaz. I think Zion understands there is a no-win situation for him. Because you might be excited. You might be excited, Justin. But like people are going to nitpick at everything he's going to possibly
because he doesn't do it.
No, Justin.
It's because he don't play, Justin.
Yeah, he had to do it multiple times. There had to be multiple videos all summer. There had to be a plan about it. Like, nah, bro. I think he understands. Like, he already catch hell for just being outside, taking pictures with people. He cool with. You think he about to post a video? Oh, what if the video is trash?
Whose fault is that?
He's socially awkward. He reminds me of Ricky Williams in a certain way.
Yeah,
not the level of anxiety, but the aversion to Zion don't really like being around people. Like he likes being around kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I think they are not a threat. You know what I'm saying? Like, but adults in the regard of like people want something from him or they want to bring him down or whatever. I think that's how he views people. And I think that he is very much, there's an anxiety to him because he don't like talking to reporters. He don't like talking to anybody. Like, you don't see Zion. Who are Zion's NBA friends? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's outside of like Ja, who he's known since middle school, whatever. Who are Zion's NBA friends? You know what I'm saying? You don't see dudes hanging out with Zion. Like, it's just, I think that's just who he is.
I just
Look, that's all fair. And I'm sorry, I don't want to get because I think in some ways, the Zion thing is similar to Luka, right? You know,
I see Luka.
he's not killing himself in the offseason. Even if he is, he's going to show up and he's going to kind of look all doughy. The difference is, and this goes to Chaz's point. People make fun of Luka, but he's still averaging 65 games a year.
He made to an NBA Finals. I don't give a fuck.
But even ignore the NBA Finals.
I can't.
Zion has to get to a point where he can play 65 or 70 games a year, and then nobody cares about the other shit. Nobody cares if you show up looking a little doughy. Nobody cares if you are putting making off-season workout. Nobody cares about that. But everybody gives Luka a hard time. Last year was the fewest games he played, and he still played 50, which would be like Zion's second most games played. Right? The years before that, it was always 65, 70, 68, 74. Like, you just gotta, I don't care what he does in the offseason anymore. I used to get all hung up on this, man. It'd be great to see him playing basketball and stuff. I just don't care. He's been here long enough where I really don't care. This is just me personally. And I'm at a point with Zion. This is it. If you don't play 70 games,
Year 7, this is it.
Because it has to be, right? Yeah, well, I'm with you, but like we're at where we're at, right? Like, throw everything else before this out the window. Like, this is it. There is no more like next year, second chances. Like, if you can't stay healthy this year, then it just whatever, man. It is what it is. It didn't work.
And
I gotta reference that. I'm sorry, Leo. Go ahead.
I was gonna say to put you go ahead because I was about to move on.
Yeah, I was about to say because like I thought Ross brought up a good point. I think that's why you see one of the people that Zion have a relationship with is Luka. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they like to go out and eat pasta together, clearly. But the crazy thing is when you saw the best Zion you've ever seen, well, who played the most games, enter the year kind of like, man, ain't in the best shape. Like that first stand man gun the year and the 49 win year, where it's kind of like he entered the camp a certain way and kind of quote unquote played himself into shape. But a reference that you and Justin could appreciate, and I think this will drive this point home. Y'all remember Tommy Boy when they was trying to sell the brake pads, whatever the fuck they were selling, and the dude was like, "Got to be on the box. Has to be on the box. I don't care what it does. It has to be on the box. Zion got to be on the court. I don't give a fuck what he does. He got to be on the court. I have an idea of what he does off the court. I really don't care.
And I don't care either.
If he want to run with the Zoes, sock passe. Play basketball when it's time to play basketball, and you do what you want. Got to be on the box, on the court.
I'm with Chaz. I'm with y'all. I don't care what he does off the court. To put a pin in this conversation between you and Grubb talking about Ant Edwards, the bar's so low that we are talking about players missing flights.
That's a problem.
That's crazy. Like, fuck everything else. Like that. Like, you can't do that.
But it had been, and to Grubb's point, like, we all know it's like, it hadn't been 1 time, it hadn't been 2 times, it hadn't been 5 times.
Yeah.
Not one.
We're
Not
it's
two.
in double digits.
So listen, man, we got 207 people in here. I don't know. Somebody give me a like count, bro. Like,
Flashlight.
please.
Just like
It's
We're gonna take
85 is what I'm saying.
85.
In the show right now.
the show.
In the show.
That's crazy, though.
Are you serious?
That's Sonic. You know what?
Likes
For the
yeah,
off
I think
season,
so.
it's unacceptable.
That's
Sonic.
That isn't.
We're gonna take a quick commercial break. They want Company Burger. We got the Company Burger man over here, so we gonna run a
Where's the Company Burger video? Because the StreamYard has
I got
changed.
you.
Company Burger is the official burger of Pro Pels Talk and Boot Crew Media. Located at 4600 Ferret Street, Company Burger has been locally owned and operated for 11 years. Grind the meat, bake the buns, make the mayo, get the homemade tots. Company Burger uses Creekstone Farms prime beef to create the best burger in the city with milkshakes to go and a full bar. Company Burger is open every day besides Tuesday from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Can't make it out? No worries, we have you covered. You can order online right now at thecompanyburger.com or check them out on the Toast or Uber Eats app. Company Burger, the official burger of Boot Crew Media.
If y'all would knew how much Justin
Wait.
complained over-
Wait.
We just hit
Russ.
100. We hit
Hold
100.
Hold on, Russ. All right. So hold on. Wait, what you say, Grab?
We're at 101 now. 101
Yeah,
live.
well, hey,
Company burger
hold
always
up. It's a
delivers.
good time right now. Shout out to our new sponsor, Task, by the way. Shout out to Task. Go ahead.
All right. Listen, I don't know how much longer we got. We ain't gonna hold y'all too much longer. I appreciate y'all on the panel and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
You're allowed to say that.
I don't pause anymore.
Oh.
Told you that. I'm an adult and I'm a media
Professional.
professional. I want to talk about Trey Murphy.
Oh man, Lito. When I say you co, it's funny you mentioned that because I got these shirts right, and so we got the red, got the white, and we got the blue, and so the link is gonna be in the description. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna sell these just yet, but it's just crazy you mentioned that this man Lito is the best in the business. If anyone else tells you otherwise, they're hating asshole. And you know what I'm saying? But go ahead, Lito. I'm sorry for stopping you.
Holiday coming up.
No,
It's for the kids.
Good, man.
There's always a holiday.
Yeah, but man, look, post the link when you make the shirts. Post the link. You know what I'm saying? You already know we're gonna support it. I'm gonna start with 5 here because I don't feel like 5 said something in a minute. 5. What does taking the next step this season look like for Trey Murphy impact wise? Don't give me stats. Impact.
Yeah, I think he is the leader, to be honest. And I think I alluded to this last pod. Like, I think he takes this team from not like out of Zion's hand, but I think Trey can survive without Zion. I truly do. I truly think he has that ability to survive. Now, he'll probably be better in tandem with Zion, but I think he can survive without him. So for him to, take his game to the next level is to be assertive, like truly assertive in every which way and form. Like, they move how he moves, right? And I think that'll allow Zion to be truly Zion and not have to worry about things that Zion truly don't want to worry about. Let Trey be the leader and let Zion free roam and be Dennis Rodman-esque and be really good on the basketball floor, no matter what he does off the court.
Okay. What you? No.
Oh,
What's up,
Trey?
Yeah.
Oh,
He over here nodding like, no. He nodding his head like, bro, what's up?
I was agreeing with 5. I think actually Trey's the leader of the team. Playing leaders. Now I gotta see a fully healthy season from him, but I think Chaz alluded to it too. You saw Trey, if you watched every single game like we did, you actually saw Trey take a leap in playmaking abilities last year. And a dude that stays in the gym. Jared's alluded to it with the way he handles media. Like he gets it. I think personally, I think Trey is the face of the franchise. I think he's willing to do that. It's all about now, can he play 70 plus games? The same with Zion, right? He's had a couple of injuries over the last couple of years. I never doubt his work ethic. I think he's got, like, we talk about Zion. He's a guy that I can go back and look at and be like, he's improved this, and this over the last couple of years. Ball handling skills, creating. He's added a mid-range, obviously his 3-point shooting. Like, Trey Murphy to me is a guy that I think takes that major leap this year. I know y'all talk about him being an all-star. I think that might be
Too far ahead.
No, I don't say it's too far ahead. I just think being an all-star, you have to be popular. Like, I think the all-star game is a joke in a sense.
I think he's pretty popular, honestly.
Yeah, you don't think you
No.
He's
I'm just
very
saying you have to be popular on
Coaches
a
love
winning
Trey.
team, right? There'll be names that will just jump him just because he's playing for the Warriors or for the Lakers or for a bigger market. For a smaller market, he is popular, but like, you got to be able to have a fan base behind him. I just think that I personally think, like, if him and Zion, this is why I go back to what I said earlier this show. If him and Zion are healthy for 70 plus games, that 1-2 punch is really good in the NBA. I really believe it.
Let me tell y'all why 5 good. Because I had a follow-up question to this, and it's supposed to be leadership. Is he vocal enough to help fulfill the leadership void on the team? 5 answered that. I'm gonna go to Chaz right now because Chaz got shirts, but then I'm going to Grub. Chaz, give me. I asked 5 about impact.
Mm-hmm.
Statistically, what do the next steps look like for Trey?
I think the next step for him statistically is creating his intermediate game and rebounding. I think he's already gained weight. I think you're going to look for a little bit more, him being 6'10" and with his level of athleticism. I think you're going to look for a little help from the weak side for Trey. Maybe he can, play some, give you some minutes at the 4. Maybe in some lineups, you may even see Trey playing at the 5, just in some lineup, maybe not. I'm not talking about long term. I just mean for us, like, closing lineup, and you got a bunch like this all offense on the floor, and you got Trey out there at the 5. I think for us, his 3-point shooting, that's going to be what it is. I think that's a given. I also think playing with someone like a Jordan Poole, playing with someone like a Jeremiah Fizz, like just Hooper type guys, like, I'm saying? It's nothing mundane about those guys' game. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily methodical. It's 100 miles an hour athleticism and one tight basketball. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I think you see Trey driving that, catching alleys in transition. You know what I'm saying? Even when you look at what he was able to do to Derek White at home versus the Celtics last season in the 40-point game, when Zion was out. Everybody was out really, but Zion was out, and he really stepped up, and he had that game in the clutch. So I think he absolutely has multiple steps that he can take, and I think if he is healthy, to Justin's point, if he plays about 65 games, because that's kind of where I'm putting guys at now. I think the season's too long, honestly, but I'm gonna say if he plays about 65 games, then I think this team will drive.
So let me ask you this, Grub. Do you think Trey can become a credible two-way threat?
Yeah, I think he's already a good defender. I think he could be a better defender, but I think he's already a good one.
Consistently. I'm sorry. I meant to add consistently to it.
Yeah, absolutely, I do. I think Trey could be. I mean, if you're getting the best out of Trey, and if he gets a little bit bigger physically, I think at worst we calling him not a poor man's, but I think like a middle class man's Jason Tatum, right? If you're getting 26, 6 and 6 every night, and I think that's an easy bar for Trey to clear if he's playing at his best, and he's getting 35 minutes, and he shows up for 60 plus games. Man, I think you've seen he had some double-digit rebound games. He had a double-digit assist game. You're starting to see the evolution come together. And I think defensively, when you get him, that trio of him, Herb, and Zion, always, since they came together in the league, since they joined forces, excuse me, I don't want to say the other one, but since they joined forces as a trio, when you put that group together, offensively and defensively, they've been the best 3. They've been the best 3. And you saw him jump his scoring jumped by better than 50% last year just from getting opportunity on a team where they still didn't run any plays for him, where his point guard wasn't around and wasn't effective while he was around. And you still saw his scoring go up and him getting that for the first time in his life, that number 1 player attention. It takes a minute to adjust to that. And I think Trey is adjusted now. And I think mentally, as y'all have all highlighted, Trey is at that place where he thinks he's a number 1. You saw it coming into last year when he said, I view myself as a starter. I view myself as this, as that. I think Trey has always viewed himself as an elite two-way player. He didn't go to Rice and to UVA to not be an elite two-way player. That's always been his goal. So I think if you are getting the best of Trey Murphy, yeah, you're getting a middle class, if not a high middle class, Jason Tatum.
Okay. Responding.
That's interesting to me because I kind of agree with a lot of what they've said. The biggest thing for me with Trey is he's got to stay healthy and play. But the one thing I was looking at not that long ago was if you go look at again, and I think there's actually some similarities in their game that doesn't get talked about enough. But it's another Celtic. It's Jaylen Brown. Go look at year 1 to 4. Jaylen Brown in year 1 to 4. Trey Murphy, and it's almost identical to the number. Almost identical to the number. I know numbers aren't everything, but when you look at career arc, what they were asked to do,
you got it right.
Similarities in terms of going from secondary or not being asked to really make much at all to being a secondary facilitator to being asked to guard some of the other team's better players from time to time, super athletic, developing shoot. Like there's a lot of similarities there. And if you go look at year 5, like if Trey again, you were talking about Tatum, but if he takes the year 5 jump Jaylen Brown took, then yeah, I mean, I know how much y'all like Jaylen Brown. If he turns into Jaylen Brown,
why you said it like that though?
Because we've just had the conversation about some of y'all. I know we've argued a little bit sometimes about how good Jaylen Brown is, but nonetheless, if Trey Murphy averages 26 points and makes the jump that Jaylen Brown took in year 5, then yeah, he will be the leader of this team. He will be an all-star, and he will start to hit the plateaus that I think some of us think are capable within his game.
So Lito, can I jump in here real quick?
Yeah.
Just comparing their first 4 years, Trey Murphy to Jaylen Brown. Jaylen averaged 15, Trey 13.7, rebounds is 4 and 4.2. Assists are the same, steals are the same, blocks more to Trey Murphy. Field goal percentage 47% for Jaylen Brown, 45% for Trey, and then Trey has a better 3-point percentage, free throw percentage, efficient field goal percentage, BPM and VORT all better for Trey Murphy.
I think Five, did you have something you wanted to say? No, I think for Trey Murphy, I think 26 might be a little lofty. Yeah. Just because the addition of Jordan Poole. And that's the only reason I say that, because now you kind of got more like firepower and guys who, like CJ took a lot of shots. And Jordan, I think I expect Jordan Poole to take quite a few shots. I think Zion's going to stay between 16 and 18. I think 24 to 25 is a good number.
And Jaylen Brown averaged 24 in year 5. So I mean, so that's 3 more points. I mean, that's
I think
he averaged 26 in year 6.
Yeah, I think depending on how they round out the roster, because again, they have about $4 million left to spend and an open roster spot. I don't necessarily believe they're done, but I think Trey can absolutely continue to ascend and average about what he averaged last year, like 21. Yeah. So I think if he would have continued to play, that number would have been 22 to 23 easily. So let's say he gets to maybe 24 this year. I think he's a fringe all-star this year, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Best year, like
112 in the show.
Hey, Lito.
What's up? What's up,
hold on. So the best year that Brandon had, and I think that's the baseline that we should be looking at for Trey, because I think we would say he's a more versatile player than Brandon overall. Yeah. Would y'all agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
So Brandon's best year, he played for the scoring year. He played 34 minutes, took 18 shots, shot 48% from the floor, but only 4 of those shots were threes. So we know Trey is going to be double that in 3-point attempts, right? Like Trey's going to shoot 8-9 threes a night. And, I think, Trey would be a better. Brandon averaged 5 boards and 6 assists that year. So I think you could get 25, 6, and 6 out of Trey this year. I think that's possible. That's on the table, because you got that from Brandon in a year where he only played 55 games.
What season was that?
45 games that year. Just 2022-23 when they won 42 and they didn't get into the playoffs. Remember they lost to OKC in the play-in?
I think that's tough. I know Zion missed the second half of that year. He got injured in Philly.
And Brandon got real hot.
Yeah,
I'm just saying it's like you take the shot distribution. If you're taking those 8 instead of 4 threes, and you talk about if Trey's making 5 out of 9, 4 out of 9 every night. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I think the high, that's the high. I'm not saying that's his average, but I'm thinking if he has the best possible season for Trey, then I think that's where it is, around 25, 6, and 6, around there.
That's a good point from Peaceful Reality. Also, say Poole played under administration last season and was sat in the fourth quarter much of the season because they didn't want to win. He'll average 23 to 26 points a game next season. That's I believe it. That's why I made these shirts, man. Shout out to Jordan Poole.
I hope so.
I got one more segment, y'all, and we go get us some chat questions, and I'm gonna get y'all out of here
for sure.
5. Buy or sell Zion playing 65 games a season.
65. Sell.
I'm buying.
You buying? Who? Anybody else buying?
I'm buying.
Only because he has
I'm
no
gonna
other
buy- I'm
choice.
gonna buy the shit.
He has no other choice.
I'm gonna
He
buy
has
the
no
shit.
other
I gotta hang
choice.
with 5 on this one. I don't want, my heart says don't sell, but my mind is saying sell.
I'm
Like,
definitely
I gotta
down
hang
with my
with 5
heart.
on this.
I'm definitely down. Don't make no mistake, girl. I'm definitely
you know
buying
why
with
I'm
my heart, not my head. I know.
You know why I'm saying buy, Lito?
Talk to me.
Because he could have played about 50 last year.
Yep.
Yep.
And that's and even in the meniscus season, it's like you could have
Yep.
played. And even in the 49 game season, it's like
To Chaz's point, there is no other choice.
Like it's just
you don't have your first round pick. Like there is no other choice.
I don't think Dumars is going to be as lax on some of that. Like if there is a minor injury, I think there's. For me, yeah. Look, if we're all being honest with ourselves, like, you know, if you had to take the over under 65, logically you'd probably take the under. But I think there are circumstantial things that you can point to that should give you optimism that he will play more games than you're expecting. And those things are that we know he could have played more last year. And there's really no reason for this team to lose. Like there's no reason whatsoever as we sit here today for this team to try and lose games at any point this year. And Dumars is not going to be what Griffin was.
That part is big. That part is big. Just, you know, like Joe Dumars is a dude that played a season where he had to cut a hole in his shoe because his toe was swollen and hurt, and he had to cut a hole in the side of the shoe so he could fit his foot into the sneaker to play. Like, I don't think you're gonna be able to walk up on Joe Dumars and be like, I got a tummy ache, I can't play tonight. Like that stuff ain't gonna fly. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't see that working with him. You can't have that note from your mother and be like, Zion can't play tonight.
We talked about it year before last with the Spurs game, the Devontae Graham revenge game, and you know, sometimes you can't ask a person how they feel. Like, how you feel? You think you want to sit out? Like, shit, why not? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can. Sometimes that's not. The team is winning, everything going well, and you come there like, the Spurs, man. Your hand look like it hurt a little bit. You want to chill? Like, I take the night off.
I will say
this.
Shit. I will say this. Some from reports I've heard that people are walking on eggshells around Joe. Like the bullshit that Griff. Like, nah, that's not the building. Like, you ain't doing your job. And if you look at Joe Dumars' his history in firing coaches and things like that, like he ain't scared to like, you're out. So I think there is a change in the building in that sense, which is good.
Was it the Fletcher interview? I'm sorry, Lito. I think it was in the Fletcher interview where he asked Joe. No, I'm sorry. It was in the press conference, I believe. He asked Joe, like, yo, what's up with homie? You know, motherfucker can't find a babysitter. Like, what's going on? You know, there's all type of reasons to be out. He was like, oh, nah, you know, that ain't gonna be the case. If you can play, you gonna play. Yep,
exactly.
Like that's just what it is. And so go ahead, Lito. I'm sorry.
Nah, you good, right? Actually, question for you. Who's the better long-term prospect? Fears or Queen?
Shit. Long term, just because of the position and the way the game has trended, I'm always going to go with perimeter players versus not back to the basket, because Queen has more of a face-up game. But I'm always going to go with perimeter players versus Queen, and Queen is the older prospect, so I'm gonna go with Queen. I'm sorry, I'm gonna go with Fears.
Fears. Greg, what you think?
Like, I think Fears, if all of it comes together for him, like, that dude's a superstar. I think Queen can be a good player, even to a very good player. But I think if Fears figures it out, that dude's a superstar.
All right, Ross.
Fears.
No, not that.
Damn.
Who reaches their ceiling? Who reaches their ceiling first? Carlo or Misi?
Oh, where's the ceiling at?
Dump of a question.
Floor.
Who reaches their ceiling first? Man, those are not real high ceilings. I guess Misi. I mean, I don't know what, like.
I totally disagree with you.
I don't know. Like it's a it's like you've stumped me because I don't have either of their ceilings like super high, and I don't think like I mean I could almost make an argument that like I think Messi might hit his ceiling like this year. I just don't know how much better like he really can get.
I think Carlo can get better.
Which leads to my point. Which one you said? Which one hits their ceiling first?
Messi.
Okay, whose ceiling is high?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I think probably
show, man.
I think probably Carlo.
All because of the shooting. Like Messi's never gonna be a shooter.
And he's he's kind of
a much better athlete.
Yeah, he's a better athlete. Like,
way
he did
better
some stuff at the end of the season where I was like, okay, like there's a role for Carlo in the NBA.
I think Carlo might have a role in the team.
Yeah, like I just don't. And this is I'm not saying that Messi is like can't play or anything like that. I'm just saying that like I don't think his ceiling's very high. There's a place for him in the NBA. That's great, but I think Carlo like athletically with the shooting, like if he may never get to that ceiling, but I think it's higher than Messi's.
I was just very disappointed in the summer league with Messi. Riley, you want to do
Let's go. Oh, hold on. Last question.
Oh.
Last question. This to you.
Oh,
Last question. Since you want to rush me, this is your question.
oh, it's man.
If the Pelicans don't make the playoffs this season, Zion will be traded.
Yeah,
By herself.
100%. It's time. Y'all just said it. I mean, we're giving you 7 years. You haven't played a playoff game?
Come on. Questions. Let's go. All right.
Super chats.
Super chats. Michael Morgan. Shout out to Mike, man. Mike always in here, man.
Shout out to Mike, man.
If you on Twitter, X, whatever, Instagram, DM us, bro.
Yeah, appreciate Mike, man. That dude
Mike's
faithful as hell.
Mike like a good barber, man. You know what I'm saying? You ain't cheating on Mike. You Mike will be there for you. If Poole and Bay have good seasons, do y'all think the Pels will give them extensions?
Good question.
Not
I
the
say
way.
Poole is more likely than Bay because of the way the financial situation is for the Pelicans right now. They so up against the they're already over the cap, and you're coming up on that that first apron. I think that Bay is one of them dudes that like you brought him in for a year to see if he would stabilize something. Poole, because of the value of his contract, I think if he plays really well in his age, you can go ahead and start thinking about extension numbers. But I think for Bay, as you see around the league, and I think Chaz has been following this all off season, is like if you're a middle class NBA player, nobody's in a rush to sign you. Like nobody. So you think you might be able to get that production and replace it with anybody in the league. That's the way the owners are thinking now because you can't afford to overinvest in your bench. Like they're spending so much on their starters, they can't overpay the bench. And so you see all these dudes who are getting medium-sized salaries that just don't fit in the league. So you go have either dudes making everything and dudes making nothing. That's the way the league is. Baseball had this problem a few years ago, and that's where the NBA is right now, and they got to figure this out. But Bay, there's no way that they try to extend him. There's just no way.
And you would think that Herb extension kind of is the slam the door on that too, to a certain degree.
There's no money.
Yeah.
Let's see. Just tweaking. A bench squad of Alvarado, Hawkins, Brooks.
I want to let me answer.
Deion Brooks.
Don't even read it. I'm gonna answer the question. This is the type of stuff. And just tweaking. Look, I appreciate it. Thank you for the question or the comment or whatever this is. I just couldn't disagree more. Every team in the league can you could say that like their benches. Honestly, I think better. I think Hawkins. In fact, I think Alvarado, Hawkins, and Brooks are fringe NBA players. Like I mean, every team has these players. Everyone. Like this bench is no better than anyone else's. In fact, I think it's a lot worse than other people's. But it's definitely no better. Like I hate doing this because it makes me seem like this pessimist or whatever. But you got to be realistic with what you got. Yeah. And look, these players are fine. Like I like Carlo. We just talked about Carlo. We just complimented him. Like we're all been complimentary of Looney. Compete with what? Like compete for like.
I think that's why Ross his point about Dejounte earlier has merit because he's like, well, shit. I mean, so I totally understand. Go ahead, Lito.
No, my bad, man.
It's terrible. It is. I'm trying to be
No,
nice.
the
I'm
hour and a half.
trying to be nice about it. That
Swear
bitch
He
is
told the truth. He ain't lying.
Yeah.
Oh man.
The good
All
thing
right.
is, usually you don't see hockey lineups happen in the NBA. So that's the good thing.
yeah.
That shit stinks. All right, we gotta speak on it. Portland has a decent team, but they're not good as a unit. I'm not even sure how with that.
Y'all think Drew stays in Portland?
Nah.
This whole Dame
do
thing is weird to me. Like the whole.
Well, I think his
Dame
contract would be
Nets
hard to
thing is
I
move
think they're gonna
again.
make the playoffs.
What?
I think they're a lot better than everybody else thinks.
I
I
think they're
know.
gonna make the playoffs.
I know.
Portland is good
I
Portland's
like
good.
Nah.
because Kamara,
Yeah.
they got. Hey,
Denny went
they were
crazy
giving
at the end of
teams
last.
business at certain points last year.
Prove it,
And I'll
Tony.
say this for Portland. Portland has an identity. Portland figured out who they were last year. They figured out that they're going to pressure you 94 feet, and they got dudes that can run in transition. And they got, I mean, if Shane Sharp, you look at Scoot started playing better. Kamara is a hell of a. They talking about that dude might be one of the 3 or 4 favorites for defensive player of the year this year.
Bro, that dude is incredible.
And they got Klingman up front. They added another center. Like they're young, but they know who they are, and it that puts them further ahead. Like you already said, the Pelicans don't have an identity on either end of the floor. At least Portland does.
And Drew like accentuates that that identity.
Right.
Like Portland's better than.
But you know what I think, honestly? Because that's why I wanted the Spurs to trade for Kevin Durant. And I'm happy Houston did. Because I want you to accelerate your process.
Well, yeah,
You just brought Dame back. And
Dame doesn't make
there's no way.
Dame thing is so crazy.
There's no way Scoot ever going to get like the runway.
Yep.
Shade and Sharp is there. You got a questionable coach. I want you to rush I want you to be like, well, fuck. If we just signed James Posey, we might get really win this thing. and I think that's what they did. And I think I'm like, yeah, you just extended Chauncey Billups. It's like, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Like that's kind of what I want them to do. Like to cash their chips in now. You just drafted another center. Now you got like 3-4 centers. You just gave 8 away for nothing. It's just interesting. They got a lot of people to develop at one time. So it's gonna be interesting.
That's addition by subtraction. I think. I mean,
Yeah, for sure.
Kling in hand.
That's
a weird timeline.
And you still got Jeremy Grant. That's why I'm just like, it's interesting.
That's a weird timeline. You're right. It's a weird group.
I like the true one from a developmental perspective. The Dame thing.
I think that's a great question from Florin.
Shout out to Florin. Florin, check your DMs. I had DM'd you on Twitter. Go ahead.
Oh, the question is, when Dejounte comes back, whose minutes is he likely to take?
Fears.
Did y'all see the bench that they just pulled up? Like
Fears. You're gonna take Fears minutes.
But that's my problem.
I don't.
That's my
the
problem.
thing. He's gonna
That's my
take Fears
problem.
minutes because if he's playing point, he's taking Fears' minutes. You taking the guy with the least experience out of the rotation because Jose is not getting out the rotation. There's just as
That's
long as
also
he's
my
on
problem.
the team,
That's
he
those-
ain't going nowhere.
Those are two of my
thinking
problems right there.
So Dejounte is taking Fears' minutes. Who else's minutes in that backcourt? We did the rotation. Whose minutes else is he taking? They're not gonna play pool under 30 minutes. That ain't gonna happen. So whose minutes are you taking? You taking a dude who ain't got no experience.
See, I don't necessarily agree because I think he's going to play some minutes at the 2, and I think he's going to take a good chunk of Jose's minutes. Like, that's just my
This
opinion.
is Willie Green. This Willie Green, and you don't trust means everything.
Well, then that's the other part because I think by the time Dejounte gets back, Willie Green ain't here. So I
think Joe. I think as much as I have confidence in Willie Green, I don't know if Joe shares that. I think Jose and them on the shortage of leashes, and I don't think Willie got much leeway to really call the shots like that.
No,
Now it's like the better way to ingratiate yourself to old crazy Joe than to play the guy he just deemed the future at lead guard.
Mm-hmm.
And for Dejounte, I think Dejounte gonna be in a lot of catch and shoot situations, man. I think
which is not a good
shoot
situation to be in.
That's not good for him.
Yeah, but I think they just if he plays at all, because I don't anticipate it. I think they're just gonna try him out there. But look, he can walk, and he gon', you know what I'm saying? Don't unpack your bags, dog. Just you know, you won't be here that long.
Keep your bag packed, brother. All right, man, shout out to Mark. Was the Herb extension good / necessary? Can we touch on this? Pause.
I think.
Sure.
Oh, go ahead. I go
Whoever
after
want
you.
to answer that, go ahead.
Or 5.
Yeah, I thought it was good. Necessary? That's be this, determined, but I thought it was good. I think it invokes a little bit of confidence in Herb, right? He might have been in the thought process of like, how does Joe feel about me? How does this team feel about me? How does this organization feel about me moving forward with all this movement? This settles him down as like your defensive stopper, and it warranted, I guess his play warranted this contract in a sense. Flight Mizark, great use of pause here. I just have to commend you.
Shout out to Flight. Another regular.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know if it was necessary, but I do think it was good.
I thought they got a lot of confidence in this team, because if Herb is a free agent right now, there's no way he's getting that contract.
No way.
And that's my problem with it. The NBA is telling you that we don't pay players like that anymore. Like, unless we're a championship team, that contract is reserved for Herb on a championship caliber team. Like, this guy's missing piece. We going all in. This is all we need. Like, I'm sure maybe Cleveland would give him that contract because they traded for DeAndre Hunter. So maybe they would give him that contract. But for the Pelicans, it's rims on a bicycle. I don't understand it. You have to be good now with that contract. I think you turned a positive asset into a negative asset, because again, I think people visualize that's a great deal for Herb. You're saying that because Herb is 26 today. When that contract kicks in, he's gonna be turning 30 years old. So now you're paying 30-year-old Herb $20 million in the economy that doesn't pay those type of players right now. There's better players on the market right now who they struggling to get 30. You know what I'm saying? They struggling to get 28, 29. Players with younger players with much higher upsides, they can't get that money. So you just saw Rich Paul have an interview. He's speaking about our dog, Tiny Dog. He was like, Brandon wasn't getting that contract on the open market. This is the cap crunch that everyone was warning about a few years ago. So for them to do that, I think their timeline has to be totally different. They have to think, this is a very good team for whatever reason. For whatever reason, they think this is going to be an excellent team moving forward. Because if this team isn't a shoe-in for the playoffs and a series winning team before that contract kicks in, it's a terrible contract.
No, I don't think it was a bad contract. I don't think it was bad. I choose to look at it as a 5-year, $17 million deal. Like, I take the average and spread it over the next 5 years rather than look at the extension on its own. It was not necessary. It absolutely wasn't necessary. I think they tried to get ahead of it a little too early, in my opinion. I think they could have waited till the end of the season to gauge it. That's what I would have done personally, is give it another. But I think what they're betting on, and I think it was an inconsequential bet to make. I think they made the wrong bet, is that they wanted to get Herb's contract done before he earned another first-team All-NBA spot on defense, and his contract would have been. I think it goes up. I think the value absolutely goes up if you would make an All-NBA team of some sort. And I think that's what they were betting on, is that Herb was going to make All-NBA defense and his contract was going to be more expensive. But those $2 or $3 million to me wouldn't have been consequential. If you were going to extend him then extend him then. But I think it's a mix of what Chaz said and what 5 is on. Because on the one hand, the value as far as moving him, yes, it becomes more difficult if you want to move that contract. But at the same time, there's a value greater than off the court in sometime in retaining people who are foundational to your organization. I think that's part of this too, is that they view Herb as a Udonis Haslem type, but a better player than Udonis Haslem. But that the guy who, even if Zion moves out, and it becomes Fears and Trey and Queen, having Herb there makes those guys better. And I think that's the ultimate part of it, is that you have to have a guy who makes these younger guys better. And Herb will do that offensively and defensively. He will make them better. But I think that they were just a year too early on making this deal. They could have waited longer into the year to see what this team was going to be like, because you're absolutely right, Chaz. They have to be good. They have to be good. If you're not good, and this is for any deal where you kind of overpay, if you're not good, it's not a good value.
Yeah.
Well, you just did, Lito.
I don't know what the hell going on.
Yeah,
no,
this dude.
Bro, I was about to say, I'm trying not to sneeze, dog. I was
What
about
you
to die.
just did was
I was trying not to die. Y'all was talking. I was trying to hold my.
sorry, because y'all were making good points.
I don't know what happened, but
Yeah,
there's a lot because I didn't hear anything. That's why I was like,
Bro,
he was slurping.
Say, bro,
I didn't
bro,
hear it either.
I had my sneeze so long, bro. I started sweating. Fucking sweating, bro.
You got a fucking aneurysm. Yeah, you got to sneeze.
Like, bro, y'all was making a good point. I ain't want to interrupt. I couldn't move the mic and I couldn't get up. I was like, about to die over here for the fucking pod.
Sorry, it's just you had the show.
All right, man. Look.
Smash like button.
Jesus Christ.
You okay?
I'm good, man. Like, subscribe, comment. It's an hour 41, man. Appreciate y'all. Pull up Wednesday.
Wednesday.
All right, peace.
Later.
Yeah.
So I was about to die.